All right, we had a look at ST Ace as well as Kyrix Zenith. Those are the two players that are going to be playing in our third match of the day. Looking forward to that. And I just must say, going back to the previous match there, it was one of the more painful matches to watch. I mean, it was pretty apparent early on who was going to win, and just to see the same thing over and over and over again, it was kind of like Groundhog Day. You know, it was just the same harassment, the same response, nothing. That just followed. It really was apparent who was going to win, and it was kind of frustrating obviously frustrating for Rain to go through, but frustrating for us to watch as well. Build that engineering bay and turret next time, or scout the map, do something about it. And, actually, in that interview, and Snare actually made a good point that, I mean, he should have or had no choice but to make a turret simply because he didn't have enough Vikings. Whereas the other option would have been maybe if he had some more Vikings, then it would have been a different thing against it. But unfortunate for Rain, and Snare, meanwhile, he's going to benefit from that as he moves on to the round of 16. Let's take a look at our third match, though, as we meet our players. They are ST Ace or Saint Ace. Actually, there's no periods on.
I like Saint Ace.
Saint Ace.
To it.
All right, let's go with Saint Ace. or maybe it's just Stace. Ooh. All right, well, his opponent is Kyrix Zenith, and this is a Protoss versus Zerg matchup. I'm guessing, is Zenith a clan name here?
That's a good question. You know, I'm going to bet it is.
Okay, well, it looks like one of these are, whether it's like Kyrix or Zenith, but regardless, let's take a look. Let's look at these players. Chungus Hall is known as Saint Ace. He defeated IMK Humor, I guess. That was 2-1 in the round of 64. Zenith defeated Hongun Prime 2-0 in the round of 64. So a couple of players that, well, actually, no, Hongun Prime, that was a 2-0 win, whereas against Humor, it was a 2-1 win, and this is going to result in a Protoss versus Zerg matchup.
And I'm going to call him Kyrix here. I'm not sure about his pronunciation, but it is also important to note, I think, he did face a Protoss in Hongun Prime in the first round, so he's already practiced a bit for this matchup. Saint Ace has had to switch gears from P vs T, and now he's moved on to P vs C. Plus, he had a harder match, 2-1, so might spell trouble here for Saint Ace.
All right, well, I like the analysis on that. Let's give the edge so far to Kyrix Zenith. We'll have to see what happens in the match. We really don't have too much more information on the two players. What we do know is that the maps are going to be on the first set, Steps of War. On the second set, Zelnaga Caverns. And on the third set, it is going to be Delta Quadrant. And the maps that were exerted by the two players, Saint Ace did not want Scrap Station or Blistering Sands. Meanwhile, Kyrix Zenith did not want Shakira's Plateau and Jungle Basin. So there we have the maps that we're going to be using. What do you think of these maps in terms of a Protoss versus Zerg matchup?
Well, personally, as Zerg, I don't like Steps of War, Z vs P. So maybe that means that Kyrix has prepared something special for it. I'm not sure. I would have eliminated that in, what did he eliminate? Shakira's Plateau. Well, I don't like Steps of War. I guess he does, so let's see what he does on it.
Well, the first map, as mentioned, is going to be Steps of War. Do you know much about either of these players? Obviously, like I said, I'm still getting new to these players myself. I can't say that I do.
Yeah, I've not talked to. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure if these are pro team players. I've heard from Idra. Again, going from my source here. There's a lot of SC1 pros trading over that have not yet joined the pro team scene yet. So there's a lot of small clan names, a lot of small-time solo gamers, and maybe in the next few months here, we're going to see him join some of the bigger names, OGS, TSL, Guerra.
Okay, let's see if they do. Let's go to set one. Okay, so Steps of War is going to be the map for set number one. And as we begin, our Protoss player is going to start in red in the top right. ST Ace, okay, it is ST Ace is going to be his name, and our blue Zerg in the bottom left is Kyrix Zenith.
Kyrix.
Okay, well, in Korea they calling him Kyrix.
Man, they got it all wrong here. Saint Ace is much cooler than ST Ace.
I still like Stace.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about openings. What are the most likely or maybe even coolest openings that we might see from these two? We saw a PVZ earlier, of course, in our first match of the evening.
We did, and what we didn't see was early game, really early game warp gate pressure from the Protoss, and that is something that I think is the best opening P versus Z. I'm surprised we haven't seen it, but I think we're going to see it on this map. It's such a short rush distance, especially if Zerg tries to do some sort of slow expansion or anything anything Zerg does. I think early game warp pressure should be done on this map.
Gateway at the rampway. Signs that we're probably not going to see any kind of an early nexus as we did in the previous set, or not previous set, but previous PVZ. Probe heads up the rampway to see if there's a early spawning pool or not. There's not going to be, because the hatchery has already been started on. Now, I like how he hid the drone there by the natural expansion behind the mineral patch before going there. Of course, doesn't want to tip off that he's there to the passing probe, who could also try to block that as well.
Exactly. That'd be almost the end of the game, or at least a huge alteration in strategy.
And probe is going to stick around to see if he can gather any more extra intel. No extractor just yet. Double gateway at the choke point, and already a zealot on the way. That, of course, because he knows the spawning pool is not complete yet, and Zerglings are not going to get around him to harass at his main.
Yeah, I like the idea here. Early, wow, he's pulling a lot of drones to fight this.
Oh, well, they have a surround on him.
Wow, big mistake by Ace there. Oh, and he...
Oh, boy, he's got... Do we know how many hit points he has left?
He had 20 when he ran away. Now he has none.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do we know how many? 0. Loses the zealot.
Yeah, wow.
And the rush is still on.
That's going to take a lot of pressure off Kyrix here, trying to defend against this 2-gate zealot. Losing a third of your army there.
And that, I think, is going to be enough to chase them away. Perhaps... Oh, as a third zealot engages, and a fourth one as well.
Yeah, he's got to dance around with Zerglings here and try to engage the zealot that's kind of lagging behind, so to speak. He can't engage in a wall of zealots with this few Zerglings.
Well, the Queen is now out to help.
Yeah,
and a spine crawler on the way as well. So clearly, Kyrix Zenith is clearly just going to try to weather this storm. And if he can, he certainly have a big macro advantage.
Oh, he's going for the ramp here.
And the Queen there to help out. And
wow.
the Queen gets Julius Caesar there by the Zealots. And can he get up the rampway? He's trying to hold on as much as he can. Just don't let them up. The spine crawlers are there to help. And Zerglings reinforce. And that is going to chase them off. Great play there by Kyrix Zenith. The perfect timing to get over, and the perfect number of units, drones, to ensure that the Zealots did not get up the rampway. The question now is, was that an all-in rush?
No, it definitely was not. He's following up here with, I'm expecting the Warp Gate research to kick in. Maybe not yet, but he's following up with more units. He's got a good economy, whereas Kyrix here is quite hungry for drones. All he's got are a few Zerglings that can't do anything against this walled-off Protoss ramp and Zealot army.
So right now, it is actually Protoss that is in the lead in terms of food count. That might change in a little bit, considering the two bases right now for Zenith Kyrix Zenix, compared to ST Ace, who has just one base. And by the way, Kyrix just went into the minus. He must have lost an Overlord at the base of ST Ace.
Yeah, here we see the Protoss seems content to expand here. That, you know, I think that's an okay play. I really would like to see two more gates added, 4-warp gate rush, because he's done so much damage, and Zerg's kind of stopped making units. If he had kept the pressure on, followed up with higher tech level units, I think we may have seen some GG slamming from Kyrix.
Well, we'll see where this game takes us to next. It's a good play, actually, by ST Ace to get that queen early. I think that gave him the chance to get up the rampway. He didn't actually make it in the end, but he gave himself an opportunity with some good control.
Definitely forced Zerg to pull a lot of drones, many of which did not return to the mining field after the battle.
Roach Warren on the way right now for Kyrix.
Yeah, Protoss being very safe here. A couple of cannons. He doesn't want to die to any sort of kind of all-in Roach Zergling rush. Content to just slowly build up his powerful army force.
Bit of a mid-game lull that we're hitting here. Although 5 Roaches heading out, trying to slow down the expansion.
Yeah. He's got to be careful here. He's going to get force fielded and lose all of them if he's not.
Yeah, that's a lot of sentries there, 6 of them, with Zealots and Stalkers as well.
Yeah, Ace being extra careful, making a couple extra cannons.
Force fields up all over the place, not leaving a lot of room for those Zerglings to get in.
Yeah, Zerg's tried to find the timing here to kill Protoss, but yeah, oh wow.
Corner some Roaches, 2 or 3 of them cornered, and they're going to be easily taken out as they've got their backs against the wall, so to say.
Yeah, and that was awesome there. We see basically Kyrix lost his whole army there, and Ace traded a couple meatbagger Zealots to kill all those Roaches and Zerglings.
Great play, great sentry play there by ST Ace. Couple more gateways. Robotics is complete. Roaches do not want to let them out. It looks like Kyrix is willing to engage.
Huh.
Not allowing the Roaches to micro back.
Yeah, we're going to see GG soon, I think.
The Zealots are completely wiping them out. Look at all of that damage. By I think that one Zealot stayed alive the whole way through. Did a ton of damage. That Zealot will be king someday. He's got King Arthur's Excalibur there. A lot of damage he did.
Wow. Plus 99 damage. Zerg's just following up with, you know, whatever he can here. He knows he doesn't want to die, or he knows he has to kill Protoss, I think. I just don't see it happening.
90 to 70 food count difference in favor for Protoss. Now, what options right now would you say that our Zerg player Kyrix has?
I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's got to go for the Zealots. I think he's tough question. He's got to try to hold, I think, the middle ground somewhat, or pretend like he's holding it while trying to get a real economy and different mixture of units going on here. I think he needs to mix it up with a lot more roaches and probably a few hydras in the back. But to do that, he has to have a better economy. Otherwise, Protoss, same matched economy, is just going to step all over him. Yeah, Protoss is pumping out Immortals now, so he's going to start to void the roach count of Kyrix.
And I like this idea for Kyrix going to those high-yield minerals at the gold patch. He's got to do something risky to get himself back into this. We'll see if this works or not.
And we also see a couple hallucinated Phoenixes kind of scouting around. He's going to, yeah, he's seeing what Zerg's doing or not doing. And I think he's going to find a mid-game push in the next minute or two.
It's a lot of units there for...
Oh, wow.
And add in a couple of Colossus, and that means it is time to go. The Overlord is going to be the first to suffer.
Right. A couple of fake Colossuses there. We saw the roaches attacking them. It looks like Kyrix is wised up, though. He knows they're fake and stopped targeting them.
And the force fields playing a role for the sentries.
Oh, and he sees the drones transfer, too.
That's enough to be GG. Wow, what a game there for ST Ace, who is going to take this first set on Steps of War. Well, we went through all the logic as to how Kyrix might have an advantage, how he was a 2-0 winner over a Protoss player in the round of 64. A lot of different things pointing to an advantage to him, but in the game that we saw, it certainly did not turn out to be the case. It all started with the early rush, the 2-gate rush. Of course, on the other hand, Kyrix was expanding. He went straight to a double hatchery and turned out disastrous. Control-wise, we've got to give a lot of credit to Ace. He just out-microed him at the very beginning. Taking out the queen early on was very key, and he was able to deal some damage, certainly forcing a lot of drones to be taken off the minerals, and as you mentioned, a lot of them that ended up in the graveyard.
That they did. You know, we tried to give Kyrix as much of a good shout out as we could, but he didn't really step up to it. But I really like the play from Ace. Looked good.
All right, well, we are just about set to go to set number 2. Set number 2 is going to be on Zel Naga Caverns. And as we are ready, let's go to the game now.